Anyway, they're under orders. Let's go with Peter.
Yep, and they settled down in the early stages, and over on the far side, South Parade is the early leader. South Parade with Record Flight, who jumps it in the center. Right up with them a High Stead, Chatham also prominent, and Bickaloy, and alongside Bickaloy, South Parade, Gilt Bronze over on the far side. Kribensis is right up there in the early stages too, and it's Gilt Bronze, High Stead, and Record Flight. These disputing it as they come down towards the next flight. Gilt Bronze over on the far side, High Stead in the center, South Parade. Kribensis right up there with Surfboard, and also prominent on the near side is Chesham Squire. But as they go out into the country, it's South Parade who's taking them along. South Parade in the lead from on the inside, Gilt Bronze, then Kribensis and High Stead, then Chesham Squire and Surfboard. Just behind them are Wingspan, then Record Flight, then Bickaloy. Behind Bickaloy is Chatham. On the inside is Caden. Jason's Quest taking no part. South Parade at the third from Surfboard. Jumps right up with him. Chesham Squire there on the outside. Gilt Bronze on the inner with Kribensis, and just behind Kribensis is Sea Island and Wingspan, and behind them Cadan, Chatham towards the outside. Record Flight well up with them too. Bickaloy well there over the fourth, and Old Dundalk making ground towards the outside with upsides him Carla Pez, who just can't get to the front yet. Coming down to the next, Chatham on the outside, Sea Island on the near side, but Surfboard just shades them as they jump it. They begin to swing left-handed, and as they do so, it's Surfboard, South Parade and Chatham, being followed by Kribensis and Wingspan. Then Chesham Squire and Bickaloy and Cadan on the inside, and behind them Old Dundalk making good ground, chased by Carla Pez as they come to the next. Three from home. South Parade is going to land in the lead. It's a long way from home, but Surfboard out jumps him there and goes on from Chatham in second. Chesham Squire. South Parade fighting his way back. Kribensis threatening just in behind the leaders there. Then comes Wingspan, then Cadan, then Calapez moving up on the outside with Old Dundalk also. They run downhill. They've only got two flights left to jump in the Daily Express Triumph, but a long way to go, and it's Surfboard on the inside. Disputing it now with Chatham. Calapez still coming there on the outer. Just in behind them is Kribensis and Old Dundalk. Chesham Squire still well in contention. Coming down to the second last, Chatham, Surfboard and South Parade. Those three almost in line. Carla Pez makes a slight mistake there. It's Surfboard and Steve Smith Eccles, South Parade, and Kribensis coming there very strongly. Chatham in the lead though as they swing round the home turn. It's Chatham with the advantage now from Kribensis, coming there very strongly on the stand side. Chatham the leader from Kribensis, then Chatham, then Wahiba making very good ground as they come down towards the final flight. Chatham on the far side, Kribensis really motoring in the center, Wahiba in third place. These three have the Daily Express Triumph between them. Kribensis is going to land in the lead. Kribensis lands in the lead at the last. Wahiba is second on the near side. It's Kribensis from Wahiba as they race into the closing stages. Kribensis on the far side, Wahiba on the near side. Kribensis is going to win this for Sheikh Mohammed, and Michael Stoute. He comes to the line with a 3-length advantage and going away now. Kribensis has won the Daily Express Triumph Hurdle. Second is Wahiba, and third is Chatham. That's the 1, 2, 3. It's going to be very close for fourth between South Parade and Wingspan, but Kribensis is the winner of the 1988 Daily Express Triumph Hurdle. First, number 17. Kribensis, owned by Sheikh Mohammed, trained by Michael Stoute and ridden by Richard Dunwoody. Second was number 33, Wahiba, owned by Mr. J.M. Brown, trained by Richard Holder and ridden by Nigel Coleman. Third was number 6, Chatham, owned by Dr. B. Nolan, trained by Martin Pipe and ridden by Peter Scudamore. And it's a photo for fourth place between South Parade and Wingspan, but this is the winner, Richard Dunwoody, on the only horse that Michael Stoute trains on the flat. Here's how he won the Daily Express Triumph Hurdle, the 24th running under its present title.
And they've come hurtling down the hill. On the left of the picture, the grey there, is Calapaez, who came in with a bit of a chance there. We've got Shimshek in the red, and we've got Chesham Squire in the green next to him. And then if you look further towards the inside, the white nose there of Chatham, who'd been up there from the start. Then Surfboard with the breast girth, and on the inside is South Parade, who've been going for a long time. But just look at Richard Dunwoody in Sheikh Mohammed's colours, poised nicely there, ready to challenge. He'd had to shake him up a little bit at the top of the hill to make his position. He didn't want to lose it. He knows this course very well, and now as they come off the bend, I should think he's got a wry smile on his face. Chatham leads off the bend with Peter Scudamore, and Kribensis is poised there in second place and just ready to go. What a lovely jockey Richard Dunwoody is. And little Wahiba's coming out of the pack. Nigel Coleman is the rider here, and Richard Holder, the Bristol trainer, handles this one. It would have been a big victory for them, and they're no stranger, though, to winning good races. But just watch how this steel grey gelding in the middle of the leading three is cantering. A little slap down the shoulder there by Richard Dunwoody, just to keep his mind on the job, as Peter Scudamore's horse, Chatham, just drifts out slightly to the left-hand side there, but Peter pulls him back on course. Didn't make any difference, though, because Kribensis had the lead going into the last. Wahiba was probably only a length behind him at this stage, but I don't think anyone was going to catch this. Well, in hindsight, we know he's not. But Kribensis, faced with this hill, he'd won his only two, and now he maintains his unbeaten record. Richard Dunwoody just keeping him going, making sure that this big race doesn't slip away. Wahiba starts to challenge. This one's had quite a busy season, and Nigel Coleman is trying to get the best out of Wahiba, but there is no more to give, as the hill takes its toll on Chatham, who fades even further into third place, but has run a good race. It is Kribensis for Michael Stoute, Richard Dunwoody and Sheikh Mohammed.
What a tremendous triumph this for Michael. Arrived here this morning a little apprehensive about the ground, but still fancied this horse very much, despite the fact that he feared it developing into a slogging match and that his class wouldn't get him through, but my goodness, didn't it do so.
Guest again, Bill Smith, Tommy Stoute. The only thing was, Bill, that he was laying up much closer than normally a Triumph Hurdle would nowadays early on, wasn't he?
He was. I suppose, in fairness, the horse has got that little bit of class, so he might just as well be up in the first 3 or 4 and out of some, so much trouble and keep a nice position there.
Tommy, at the top of the hill, I thought Richard was just switching him off a bit and giving a little breather here.
I think Richard gave this horse a peach of a ride. He got his position early on, and at the top of the hill he took a pull all the way down the hill, and just didn't release him until turning for home. I think it was a copybook ride.
South Parade in front there. Chatham in the blue colours always well up there in contention, and Surfboard had jumped his way into contention before halfway. He jumped beautifully, didn't he?
Yes, he jumped very well and looked to be going well at this stage.
Chesham Place also in a good position. The grey colour powers towards the outside, but Richard Dunwoody just tucked in behind the leader there, just to one off the rails. South Parade in a perfect position to strike when he wanted to.
He has. He's got this horse perfectly poised here, letting the horses in front of him take him down the hill. As we know, this is run on the new course today, and it's a long run from the second last to the last, so he wouldn't have wanted to be in front here, really. You see the others just going out. Shimshek on the outside, and the red has gone now. Surfboard is starting to come under pressure, and he's going backwards, and it's Chatham who leads them into the straight now to take up the last hurdle.
South Parade's held on well, and now Richard Dunwoody, who's had a disappointing meeting so far, now he lets the horse go, and it might be Walter Swinburne sitting on top, mightn't it?
Yeah, sure, Walter could have won on it. He was coming. He's the only real serious challenger of the rest. Chatham now is just done for. He just starts to wander a bit under pressure. See, Kribensis just changed legs at the moment. He just sort of gets himself sighted for the last hurdle, and Richard gets a nice pop out of him, nothing too extravagant. And Wahiba now is the only serious challenger, but it's not that serious. And from here on in, Richard's just keeping him going, and the job's done. It's a first winner for Sheikh Mohammed.
Got to be a little bit serious in the end. Wahiba did look a possible threat half the way up the run-in, but in the end, he's won in terrific style to maintain his unbeaten record. And this was how it felt for Richard Dunwoody on the run-in. There he is on the left. Such a stylish rider, Richard. Many people consider that he's not only the most stylish but the most effective rider at present. Lets that horse meet the last absolutely right. Just goes for his whip in his left hand. He rode him at Huntingdon, remember. Of course, it was Steve Smith-Eccles' ride originally, but Richard got to know him at Huntingdon, decided he'd rather ride him than Chesham Place, and you can see perfect harmony. This horse, who came close to winning at Royal Ascot last year, had a terrific big weight there, been trained specifically for this race over the last 3 months, and has landed the gamble, has landed the project in terrific style. A marvellous moment for Michael Stoute, speaking now to Jonathan Powell.
You'd be pretty impressed with him.
Yes, he did it very well, I thought.
This is a new line for you, Cheltenham Festival. I think some of the trainers who come here every year will be hoping you don't make it a habit.
Yes, well, you know, it was Anthony Stroud's idea initially that we hurdle this horse, and the little bit I know about it, I learned from Tom Jones and Bobby O'Ryan, head man of Pat Rowan's. And it's been a real joint effort. James Fanshawe has made a very big contribution, my assistant, Andy Andrews and Dave Allen, the head men. And I must say, Steve Smith-Eccles has put a lot of work into this horse, you know, but after Surfboard won so well, I had to say to him, well, you'll have to ride him and we'll have to look for a jockey for the triumph. But Steve made a big contribution, and I'd like to thank him.
Was it your plan to go off among the leaders today?
To be quite handy, yes. You know, I didn't give Richard too many instructions. He's ridden him and he's schooled him, but I felt on that ground he wanted to be very handy and near the fence.
But he's won very, very easily, really.
Yes,
and, could he be a champion hurdle horse for next year?
You would have to think he could be, you know. That's only his 3rd race.
But you're a man who enjoys his cricket holidays in the winter in your homeland in Barbados. What are you going to do now?
I don't think it'll interfere with that. This didn't.
Well, it's lovely to see you here, and many congratulations.
Thanks very much.
Yes, well done, Michael, and well done, Richard Dunwoody, and that puts him on the scoreboard for the Ritz Club Charity Trophy, which is still far from resolved. 2 riders have ridden 2 winners each, Richard Rowe and Simon Sherwood. I'm not sure either of them's got an outstanding chance today, and as you can see, there are 9 riders there, all of whom has ridden 1 winner, including Tom Morgan, who has got some rides today. So we shall